Okay, so the title of this is Don't Fix Anything, You Stupid Man. Teslas are the #1 selling brand of luxury car in the United States as of this date. 80% of Tesla cars are leased. Almost 25% of the United States cars are leased. That is because millennials, those born between 1980 and 2000, are moving to rent and subscription bases for everything. Many of them with money they don't have. Many of them are using credit as a form of payment, and as far as Tesla's business model, yes, cars are technically moving and selling, but not in the way that cars used to sell when somebody would own something. And part of that is just the automotive industry in general. It's moved from ownership to a rent-based revenue system. Because of this, it's increasingly difficult to work on vehicles because they want the automotive manufacturers like Tesla prefer to work on their own vehicles. Ford has been doing this for the longest time. Ford's biggest moneymaker is its service department. And, it's real easy to sell a terrible product but have great service because you're always fixing that product while it's under warranty, and that's Ford's game. But that was Ford's game, even though the majority of their products are purchased outright. Well, the entire automotive industry is now operating this way, and Tesla is no exception. And I think Tesla is a good example of when you take ownership out of the equation, and basically it's just a subscription to use one of their cars. You're borrowing it. And they are, in essence, a landlord at that point. If something goes wrong with your car, you have to schedule with them to fix it, and it can take up to 2 months. They either have it shipped to a location that they work from, or I think that's the only options you have. Anyway, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, more and more everything is breaking and is basically unfixable. This goes for everything. And the mentality has been, well, don't worry about it, throw it away and buy another one. And we've gone from don't worry about it, throw it away and buy another one to don't even buy it, just pay to use it for a while. And then, get the next greatest and latest thing and never own anything. Nothing should last. And that's why, as far as cell phones and stuff, we're getting a new one every other year or so. Not just because of marketing hype, but because we know inherently that the product that we purchased will be no good. And as far as cell phones and computers, the operating systems and the service plans, those are just plans. They're lease agreements. And once those are up, the technology is useless. Our father's generation used to say, this thing is so cheap it breaks all the time. And our fathers would attempt to fix it. Our generation says, I'm going to use money that I don't have to be in a subscription I can't afford, so that when this thing that I bought that is of terrible quality breaks, someone else will handle it for me. It's the most shrugging of responsibility I think you can do and still have an economy. The new motto of the United States should read, pay someone else to treat the symptom, and don't dare think of a solution or implement it, or you will ruin the economy and get a bad social score. You know, in movies and TV, the people that are maintaining infrastructure, you know, the plumbers, the road workers, they're always depicted as idiots. When in reality they're allowing the people that can't take care of anything to go about their daily lives as if, you know, when something breaks, someone else will fix it. But really, I think there's a core principle to all of this. Why are things being made so cheaply? Well, you would say because of profits. You know, make something cheap, doesn't matter if it breaks. But it kind of does, because it gets to a point where you're manufacturing things that you know will break. And you can't really, with cost of materials and everything, justify just having everybody rent things that are constantly needing to be replaced. I think this is more a liberal mindset that has gone into U.S. manufacturing, and that is liberals think that everybody has a prejudice of some sort, and wherever you grew up, you have a prejudice, and therefore any idea you have of right and wrong ultimately is based on your prejudice and can't be accurate. A liberal's point of view is that everything should be the same, and we're getting there in manufacturing. Everything is terrible, and it's breaking all the time. And so we're almost there. And we're getting to the point where, you know, Tesla started as a luxury vehicle brand, and now that they've decided they're going to make everything super cheap, it will be on the same level as other auto manufacturers with the same failure rate. And it won't demand a higher price than anything else. We've gotten to that point in the market where we have, you know, 10, 20, 30, 50 different brands, but they're all in essence the same thing. And they're all in essence the same quality, which is to say they don't have any quality, save for, you know, brighter lights and cup holders. So this leads into that liberal mentality that everything must be made cheaply, because the idea of excellence or paying a higher price for a better product is against the mentality of a liberal. The mentality of a liberal is anyone who has success, or any nation that is successful, did it through their own prejudice, which means that it's not warranted. Success is not warranted, even though they have it. They don't deserve it. In essence, it's you achieved success through ill-gotten means. And this goes around to it gets its idea. The idea for this is from anti-Semitism, and because, you know, the nation of Israel is doing pretty well. It's pretty successful despite where it is and despite everything and every nation around it wanting it gone. And you know, we owe a lot of the biggest achievements in humanity are due to Jewish people. I like to tell people that you know, Wernher von Braun helped the United States get on the moon. Without him, we may not have gotten there. And recently, people have been saying that Wernher von Braun he worked for the Nazis. Well, Wernher von Braun was Jewish. And anyway, if you were a Jew in in a Nazi-controlled area and you were intelligent, what would you do? Anyway, so I say that, while the whole world is worried about everything else, really it boils down to nobody wants to actually work hard or create anything of lasting value, because ultimately nobody believes that anything can have a lasting value, because people inherently, there is no up or down or right or wrong. Everything's got to be the same, and at the same time it's leading to very violent, a lot of violence and a lot of surveillance. So the economy and the purchasing of things and stuff, it's completely out of the public's control now, because there's really no point into actually owning anything, because it has a huge failure rate, and it's designed that way.